Tuesday, December 20th, 2016. Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I like to talk about the markets, how they're doing this morning, and how they've done year to date. It's always good to keep, the bigger picture in mind, so to speak. So I've looked here at the main asset classes and main stuff that we look at. The Dow, for example, closed yesterday at 19,883. So it's up 14.1% on the year. So good performance by the Dow, especially since November 8th, of course. S&P closed at 2262.53, up 2.69% on the year. This morning, the Dow is up another 32 points. S&P is up another 4, so continues to do well. I really think people want to drive the market up to 20,000, and it could be easily done before the end of the year. We've only got, excuse me, 5 days to Christmas, and then we've got, the post-Christmas pre-New Year period is usually very quiet in the markets. A lot of people take, long holidays in the market. So I expect quiet markets. We could see some sharp moves because there's less liquidity. So what else? Let's see. For the UK viewers, the FTSE, it's at 7,006. So that's up 12.4% on the year. So the FTSE's done well in terms of pounds, up 12.4%. The dollar index, which is a basket mainly of the euro, the Japanese yen, sterling, and I think Aussie dollar and Canadian dollar. That's, the dollar index, that's 103.40. That's up 4.71% year to date. So yeah, the dollar has been strong this year. What else? The pound or cable, pound versus dollar, that's at 123.80. That's down 16% on the year. So for UK investors, yes, the FTSE is up 12.4%. But if you want to think in real, hard currency terms or US dollar terms, which is, US dollar is the reserve currency, then, FTSE investors have done well, but our currency here in the UK has devalued more than what the FTSE's gone up. Against the euro, the pound is at 119.16. That's down 12.2% on the year. So the pound also not doing well against the euro. The euro hasn't done as well as the dollar. What else? Gold. Well, gold is at 1133 in dollar terms, and that's up 6.88% year to date. So underperformed the stock market so far year to date. And, a lot of that has happened, that that underperformance, a lot of it has happened since the election, November 8th. Silver, 1586 this morning. That's up 14.5% year to date. So silver is kind of followed the Dow, is almost performed as well as the Dow. Silver outperformed the S&P. And gold in sterling terms this morning, 915.5. That's up 27.13% year to date. So gold has protected UK investors, very well, even better than the FTSE. FTSE is up 12%. Gold in sterling is up 27. Silver in sterling is at 1281. That's up 36.2% year to date. So silver has done even better than gold in pound terms. And the 10-year note, US 10-year note, the yield is up 14% this year. So that's, the prices have gone down, of the 10-year note. So bonds haven't done well this year so far. What else? Yeah, Bitcoin trading well this year. well, today we're at 790, pretty much unchanged. Let's see here. We started the year around 430, so Bitcoin has done very well. Up from 430 to 790. That's more, that's more than 50% higher year to date, Bitcoin. So very good performance. The other thing I wanted to talk about is again about Jim Rickards' book, Road to Ruin. And he goes on about fractional reserve banking. He talks about how the Florentine banking families of the Renaissance in Italy, Middle Ages, Renaissance, starting the Middle Ages, early 1400s, how they, started fractional reserve banking. Like they used to safekeep gold for customers or clients, and they'd lend that gold out to someone else for a venture, and they were real ventures. They were, shipping goods from the east, grains, spices, so it was something that was real. And sometimes, yes, they lent money that wasn't theirs. And it's interesting because there's a new Netflix series called the Medici, the Masters of Florence. And they were bankers in the early 1400s. And this is when it takes place. And they got the account for the Vatican. And at the time, there was no, Italy as we have today as a republic. We had all the little republics, which were city-states. And yes, at one point in the story, they've got all the Vatican gold, and they use it for other ventures. And but they were not like, there was fractional reserve, but compared to today, the fractional reserve is based on a lot of speculation, derivatives, which is like basically gambling on prices. A lot of the OTC derivatives we have is like on interest rates, what interest rates are going to do. But back in the Renaissance, Italy, the bankers of the time, the Medici and all the other bankers, they did speculate, of course. They lent them, the gold coins to maybe a merchant, and they expected to, the merchant to make a profit, and then they'd be paid back plus the profit. Or, the Medici didn't call it interest, they call it a profit because there were usury laws. If you're a Catholic back then, only Jews could, charge interest, so they call it a profit. But what I'm trying to say here is, yes, they might have started fractional reserve banking, but I think we've taken it too far, in my opinion. Well, first of all, our money now is not backed by anything like gold, like it was back then, gold coins. They called them the florins or the ducat. Ducat, I think, was the gold coin of Venice. And second of all, the ventures were, agricultural ventures, merchant ventures, art ventures. They built libraries, they did things to improve the real world. Nowadays, we have, over a quadrillion of bets. If any of you have seen The Big Short, you see how our financial system is basically a casino, and I recommend you watch that. They explain everything about the CDOs, the mortgage-backed securities, and all the derivatives and the side bets that go on. The Florentine or Venetian bankers, they didn't bet on prices. They bet on ventures that were in the real world. They wanted to expand commerce, trade amongst all the city-states. And there were wars back then as well. But interesting to note that the Medici actually, they didn't want war because that stopped trade. And they weren't interested in making money off war. They wanted to actually make money out of trade and commerce and growth and people getting jobs, which is completely different from today. Just comparing both. So yes, so as I leave here, gold 1134, so that's down about $3.50. Dow up 26 today. The futures, S&P up 4 points. Silver down 9 cents at 15.87. Crude oil is 53.09. Pound 123.83. So right now it's around 9:30 a.m. London time, or 4:30 a.m. New York time. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, there's some links in the description below. I accept Bitcoin, BitGold. I've got PayPal and Patreon accounts. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.